Notes. So, I'm here to talk to you about Poetic Places. Poetic Places, last year I was awarded funding by Creative Works London to become Creative Entrepreneur in Residence with the Digital Scholarship Department at the British Library, which is the most worthy of job titles. Most of the time I'm Creative Geek, for want of a better term, Time Image consultancy, whose logo you may never see. Can I see them on here? Because I'm going to lose track. Oh, it's completely crashed. That's fine. So what is Poetic Places? Poetic Places is a native app for iOS and Android devices. It's free. You can download it on both stores now. It launched in March. The aim of the app is to bring cultural and heritage content to people in places that are relevant to the content itself. It does this by using GPS and push notifications. So you can access content via a map or a list. Ideally, however, you give it enough permission and leave it running in the background on your phone, and it will notify you when you happen across things in the real world. So if you happen to download it and try it here and walk outside to Euston, you'll get a couple of exciting things, including a bit of content from the Welcome's excellent Creative Commons stuff. Are you going to give me time notifications as well? Okay. So, oh God, right. Where are we? Is it working? No. Wait, do I? So, moving on. It doesn't work. Thank you. That's. Oh, do I? Oh, hooray! Here are things I've already said. There are little videos maybe running on the right, maybe not. Let's not get too optimistic about that. No. Go back. Right, so, for example, right, here we go. If you walk across Westminster Bridge, you will, it will bring up the text of Composed upon Westminster Bridge, September 3rd, 1802, by William Wordsworth. Great. It will also bring you up some contextualizing information. So, Wordsworth can't keep a diary, is your first piece of information. And the poem's written at 6 a.m, and it's a poem about, I haven't included it because we haven't got enough time, about how silent and quiet it is to be going across Westminster Bridge, which is a bit of a weird concept for us. But written at this time, at that time in the morning, you can imagine it. It also tells you that the image you're perhaps imagining is wrong. Westminster Bridge, as it is now, was not built at the time. It was an old wooden bridge. And the Palace of Westminster wasn't even built yet. So if you're imagining the Houses of Parliament and dumping a carriage on Westminster Bridge, that's wrong. What you should be imagining is this, which also is in the app. This is from the Yale Centre for British Art. Great guys. And there's other things as well, including the old bridge being taken away by James Whistler, which is quite moving. And so the idea is to change your understanding of a place and to give more meaning to it and teach you a bit about it and be generally evocative and memorable. So how have we done it? We got given £5,000 by Creative Works London, which had to fund all of my time and all of the technical stuff, so no pressure. We also only had 6 months because Creative Works shut down at the end of the financial year. We didn't have any experience of making apps, and I can't really code my way out of a paper bag. So, great start. We also didn't have a platform because we put a proposal in with one and it turned out to not be suitable. So, we spent the first 2 months looking for a platform to build it in. And we found Good Barber, who you've probably never heard of because they promote themselves as a platform for people who want to do kind of a personal branded app or have a chain of coffee shops and want to tell you when there's a pumpkin spice sale. This is the kind of visual interface, and it's quite easy to put things together. You can see sort of the circle is setting up a notification thing. Pros of doing it this way is that so we have to pay them an annual subscription, which is, the monthly subscription is between 16 and 48 euros, so it was cheaper last week. Forward planning for budgets is fine if you're not working in euros. And a pro of doing it is that if the operating system gets upgraded on the devices, they will handle that and we can just mash update and it's done. So it's like a maintenance fee. Con is that you're somewhat limited in how you can lay things out, and if they go bust, we've got a problem because it won't work without their platform. So the three things for each entry are the text, the poetry and the prose, which is hopefully evocative of a place. The more specific, the better. Images, again, if we couldn't find something in an open collection, we went to Flickr to look for something open and evocative. We generally didn't have time or money to process, to kind of wrangle with copyright, so almost everything in the app is from open archive collections, including bits of the Welcome, the British Library's Flickr collection, the Yale Centre for British Art. There's a list on the website if you want to go have a rummage. And we researched the poem, the poet, and the place to try and find some kind of useful, meaningful narrative to bring everything together. Responses. So we launched it in March, and we did sort of a soft launch because we were aware that due to the time constraints, we only had about 30, 35 entries in the app at launch. So we did a little bit of an event and we put it live. 1 minute, that's fine. But we've had quite great feedback. We've had over 7,500 downloads, despite not promoting it through the British Library. And we've been featured on the Vice Creators Project in Techable Japan, which is the nicest of the articles, if you can read it. I'm going to be doing more detailed analytics about this in the next week or two, so if you want to keep an eye out for that, it'd be good. Weirdly, we think we had something like 75% of our downloads on iPhone. So, yeah, I'll stop. Breakneck. Try it out. It's only a relatively small download. It's about 50 megabytes because it pulls data, which allows you to do live updates. And if you want to come and get an exciting postcard featuring content from the app as a little memento, come grab me afterwards. Thank you.